Welcome back to Launch Your Light. I am so excited for another episode here for the podcast. It is a topic that is really hot and heavy in my world right now. It keeps coming up. I've talked about this before, I've designed classes about it before, but it is back. And it is the theme of get paid to write your book. This happened recently in my world because I shared that I was entering the fourth draft manuscript stage for writing my book. And I wasn't even talking about the get paid to write your book part. I was just talking about where I am, how I'm pulling it back up, how I've got a meeting with an editor and getting that self publishing support. So I'm so excited for that. But on all the comments and in private DMs, people are asking me, wait, how did you get paid to write your book? So I decided, with so many people asking, I literally couldn't set up sessions with all of these people, like times to sit down and tell them. I was like, let me just put this somewhere that is accessible and not behind the paywall of my school. I have a whole class in activating the author in my business school for women, but I haven't put this on the podcast yet. I think I have a really small episode a few months ago, but I'm going to give it all to you here, baby. I'm just going to give it all to you. So get a notebook, get ready, and let's sit down and do this. So here's the thing. A lot of people have, there's a lot of blocks to writing a book. And I'll be real with you, this episode isn't going to be necessarily on that blocks and overcoming how to write a book and templates and themes and processes. It's not. I'm going to head straight into what has worked for me, how I've gotten this far in this process, and how you can too. Okay? And I will give references and assets that help me over the years, but I do want to make sure that a majority of this time is spent with a theory and a process that I created that I think could really help you as well. So, most people think you have to shut yourself up into a cabin or go away or go on a writer's retreat or go into an attic or whatever to get your book project out. And I am a walking, breathing example of someone who did this in spare moments, in spare times with two babies, like literally breastfeeding, postpartum. I had babies back to back, they're 18 months apart. I stay at home with them while I run two businesses. Like this was not done in leisure. This is not done on a expensive writing retreat. This was done in a bathrobe. This was done at the crack of dawn. This was done at late nights on nap, literally contact naps. I worked on this on my laptop, on my phone. I mean, it's a lot. It was a lot. And I went through four stages of that. I'll be able to share that with you as we go, but I have a different story here, and I think it's a realistic story for people, right? And I will say, as of right now, end of November 2025, it is not published yet. I don't have a book deal. I don't have an agent. I am not going the trad publishing way. I'm not going the traditional publishing way. Um, but I've already gotten paid to write my book twice. Yes, twice. So in today's episode, I'm just going to give you like a full, transparent, behind the scenes look at my exact process. What I did, why I did it, how it worked, and most importantly, how you can do it too, no matter how busy your life is. So let's get into it. Part one, first thing first, I want to help you make your book less scary. Before I wrote a single word for this project, I realized something important. The word book is terrifying. It brings up a lot. It brings up perfectionism, pressure, fear, the who am I to write this? It's a spiral. And the statistic that only 1% of the people who actually set out to write a book actually finish it. 1%. That is a real stat. You can look that up. It's in books, it's available for you to see. And you know what? The failure rate means that's 99% failure rate. So instead of writing a book, I wanted to start off with a project that was smaller than that. So I told myself that day, one day, whenever I decided I was doing this, a nagging sensation and feeling I've had for years, something I've known has been part of my soul purpose since I was a child. I said I was going to write books when I was a child. Like, about what? Like, what was I saying back then? I don't even know. Right. So it's always been part of my energetic blueprint. It's been part of my purpose. It's been part of my path. I'm a writer too. Like this means something. And it means something to me. But even the daunting, overwhelming aspect of it is just too much for people. So I kicked it off with this. I said, I'm just going to write a guidebook. I'm just doing a guidebook. A guidebook felt manageable, playful, like something I could actually like do in the cracks of time between running two businesses, raising two kids we homeschool, and having a life. So I made step one incredibly simple. A guidebook that if I liked it enough, I could turn it into an ebook. What I would get out of the end of this would be a guidebook or an ebook, and then a manuscript, a first draft manuscript, something to actually step off of and sit with and go, has this turned out how I wanted it? Did this become something I want to move forward into actually turning into a book? It just took all the pressure off. And alongside that, I decided with this guidebook, I was going to make it look beautiful. I was going to do a colorful guidebook that I eventually, if I liked, could package into an ebook online. We'll get there in a little bit, but it just felt easier. And that's why I want to kick this episode off with you here today. It just felt easier to do. Okay. I'm going to write a guidebook. It could be 20 pages, it could be 200 pages. It can be whatever you want it to be. Also, I had been in my industry as an entrepreneur for years, for a decade at least at that point. I'm like 13 years into working for myself and making my own money. And so I knew what I needed to write about. I wasn't pulling shit out of thin air. I basically was compiling all of my processes, all of my proprietary work that I've created over the years, and putting it into a book and turning it essentially into a manual, helping soulful spiritual entrepreneurs move from soul to strategy in every step of their business, right? So I knew what I was doing. I didn't have to make it up. It was already here. I had to get it down and out. Another thing I did was as a writer, I was really good at organizing my writing and keeping it in Gmail. Gmail, LOL. Not Gmail, Google, in Google Drive. And I work on it pre-AI days, LOL. I would just put it in there, sit with it, work on it. But I also had all my social media. I've been uh, literally posting on social media for years, for decades now. So I had that all chronologically added up. So one of my first steps to writing the book wasn't like to sit there and go, this is what I'm going to write. I went and I excavated, baby. I was excavating my writing forever. I think I put together almost 100,000 words of what I had already written. Right. So I got all of that first. I went back and did that. Now, let's say you have all that, go do it. Go do it. It's going to be an annoying project or a beautiful project. It's going to be a great winter project. Go do it. Go sit there and copy and paste everything you've written ever. These are your words. You want to be able to have them organized in your own systems in Google, wherever you want to do it, Word documents, whatever. It's your work. Go get it. Don't let it live on these platforms that they're in control of and could take away from you in a minute. Now, if you haven't done any of that, and that's not where you are at, start sharing, start writing tidbits, little bits here and there, right? It's like if you know that you're a writer and you want to get your book out there, start getting stuff out there, not the book, not the overwhelming, daunting themes that you're going to share in the book, but little bits that are alive in you now and alive in you today. Start getting them out there. And now hearing what we all had to go do, excavating our work, be organized with it. Keep your writing somewhere that you can access. All right. So this whole guidebook, ebook, not a book, not a published book, not any of that, really the reframing of this saved me. It disrupted the whole perfectionism thing and it let me start. If you're stuck now, ask yourself, what would make this smaller, easier, lighter? Because momentum is magic in this process. So part two, this is the design the book as an experience. So now I'm going into what I did very specifically, what I've seen a lot of people catch on and do, and I'm hearing about more and more people doing this. Um, but I was doing it years ago and it really worked for me. I don't know if it's going to work for you. The only way is to try. This is where people's mind gets blown. So instead of hiding in a corner and writing for 6 years, I looked at who I am as a creator. I do my best work live. I crave feedback and connection. Accountability makes me consistent. And I am fueled by service. I am fueled by divine service. And I know that if I am serving, success will come. That's a quote from someone famous. Ooh, I don't know who said that, but someone said that. It's not mine. So I created a live experience around my writing process. Duh. Like, ba-boom. I created a live experience around my writing process, and it was fucking brilliant. I did it twice. I'll bounce back in between the two stories of what I did, but this is what I did. First, I invited a group of women to join me while I wrote. They paid to get early access to each chapter. They got it hot off the press. Then we had live calls after each release. So I had like 11 chapters, maybe we did 12 calls total, right? They got a beautifully designed workbook to follow along. So every time I came out with a chapter, they were getting it in a PDF format through just the Google document I was writing in, and they got the colorful guidebook along the way. Here's what I told them. You get to read this book before anyone else in the world. You get to shape it. Your presence is going to help birth this in the world, right? They loved it because people don't just want the final product, right? With me, they want to be part of the creation. When I am in creation mode, the container that I create is like a rocket ship. And a lot of people want to be part of it. This is actually what the women in my business school get access to. I let them in the behind the scenes of all of my creations and what I'm in. So they know when I'm in a downtime and then they know when I'm in a creative time, and they get to fuel their projects with my energy as well, and vice versa. So everyone's putting our energy and fueling into the projects and riding that together. So I'm very transparent about that, but I needed a similar thing to happen for writing this book. I couldn't like do it in a corner by myself for years. You get what I'm saying? So they want to be part of the creation. They wanted the intimacy. They wanted the transformation now, not 2 years from now. They wanted to know what was coming out of Jamie Gray now, not when it was accessible online to get at the bookstore, right? So this wasn't just educational, this was a whole vibe, this was a community, this was a movement. So I created an actual experience around it. We had a Facebook chat group for it. We had they have access to a membership portal where the replays were, so they could log in and watch replays, then click under it and get access to that week's chapter, that week's the colorful guidebook. Like, it was really well done. It was really put together. I can't remember exactly. I think I charged like 111 just to be part of the whole thing. And, if people wanted privates with me, it was like 450, something like that. And I ended up making $5,000. That's what I'm going into next. Part 3 is the money part. So let's talk numbers because transparency is power. I created those 2 levels. There was the experience only, then that level 2 was experience plus privates. And just from that book experience alone, I made $5,000 before the book was done, before it was edited, before it was published. That money wasn't my full income. That was a fraction of what I make in a year, right? But it was the activation I needed. It was also the fire lit under my ass, and it was the reason for me to keep showing up. People had paid for it. They paid for a product, and now I have to do it. And that's it, that helps. I don't know if you need that, but I need that. And I'm a conscious creator. I am a consistent creator. You guys see me. You've seen what I put out all over in the last decade, right? So this also meant that I was getting paid to show up and write. Oh my God, there's a tiny spider crawling across my screen right now. I have spider medicine, and spiders are the weavers and the writers of the totem of the animal medicine. Yes, this is so perfect. Hi, little spider. Okay, I had people eagerly awaiting each chapter. I was getting paid to show up and write. I could reinvest into design and editing and future publishing later on, but I had people, the group there was doing that for me. They were editing, they were circling and letting me know if I had a typo, if I had an error. They were letting me know when I wasn't clear. They were get like it was awesome. I had live proofreaders and they were the only ones getting it. So it wasn't fearful at all to get it out to them and then be like, I don't understand what you mean by that. Or, oh, is this a typo, Jamie? Or, you know what I mean? I had, beta testers for this book at a very early stage, right? So this kept me with an integrity. This kept me, excited about this. This kept me eager to continue. This made me follow through and finish the job because at that point, it became a job. It wasn't like a side project I was doing. I had paying clients waiting for me. I wasn't about to let them down, right? So, part 4 here, let's go into part 4. The bonus benefits I never expected, right? I covered a little bit of this already, but the model shocked me with how powerful it is. Live feedback, typos, unclear concepts, missing pieces, all caught on early. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Market research. If a part of the book got fired up or emotional, I noted it. If they liked it, like, oh, you God, you should have seen the live calls we had. We really went on tangents. We did special things where it was amazing. And I love that type of container where I'm like, my energy's all excited and it's flourishing and it's flowing and I'm remembering all the things I did. And it was a lot of work to do, but I had a deadline every week. I will say with the schedule, I was doing, like I was trying to get a chapter a week out, which is an advantageous goal. And I did it for maybe the first 5 or 6, and then the rest slowed down, right? So that would have probably been when I broke. That probably would have been when it started to fade off for me if I was doing this alone, maybe halfway through the book. And how many people write half a book and never pick it up again? I did. I got to keep going. This experience aspect of writing the book really helped. So, and then it was going to be like a 3-month process and it ended up being a 6-month process. So I only did a live video when a live experience, live like gathering, when a chapter was being released. And in the meantime, we had a chat. So I would keep them up on where I was and how it was going and what I'm feeling and what's going on in my life and why I needed another week off. And it's finally getting there and I want to share with you, but it's not ready yet. Like I let them in on everything. You also have an instant hype team. Who doesn't want that? My God, they shared the project. They told friends. Buzz built. And I talked about it the whole time I was doing it. So I pretty much spent that whole year talking about me writing a book. So really that also helped me stand in authority, stand in the power, right, on the podium of like, I've got something to share. It's so important. I'm writing a book about it. That just sets you aside from others. Plus, I was actively doing it so that I'm demonstrating to my audience that I am actually doing the damn thing. I'm not a person saying I'm going to do the damn thing anymore. I am actively doing the damn thing. So then this helped me. Like another surprising thing was like, new offers came from this and long-term clients came from this. People signed up and wanted to work with me after. People stayed on in my world and went deeper. Brand authority. I wrote a book, hits different. It just hits different, right? Then I created, what I got out of this were future assets. The workbook became a full ebook. It became a lead magnet that grew my email list. The live recordings now live inside Daydream Business School. The strategy didn't just get me paid, it built the business, it built my business around my book. So again, it wasn't like a side project over here. It got to be front and center. I got to dedicate my postpartum time to it. I got paid to do it. I had a whole group who was following me for the journey. How fucking perfect. Like how amazing. It worked with it becoming an ebook after. So let's fast forward to I got done. I finished it. It like to cross the finish line with the big project like this is monumental. You're really over it by that point. I'm telling you right now, you're fucking over it. That first draft finish, whatever I gave them, oh my God. Right? Like, oh my God. But I did it and I finished it and we were able to like close that container out. But at the end of that, I had a full manuscript. I think I got that whittled down to maybe like 60,000 words or 55,000 words, something like that. It was like 60,000 words and a really beautiful, colorful guidebook. So, like, let's say, let's just like fast forward to okay, we I finished the writing container, close that up, had a final ceremony, said goodbye to everyone, stay in touch about the actual self publishing journey, yada yada. Whoever wanted to come into my business school and my world with me did. Then I went back and looked at the guidebook and I was like, "Ugh." Like instantly was like, oh no, this is a fucking mess. So the next stage two, draft two, was going through and really fully editing. What the hell was I saying here? What's going on here? So think I just wrote a whole book. Then you got to go back and I'm looking back at introduction, chapter one, chapter two, and I'm like, oh my God, this needs to be edited. So then I edited. I ran through the whole thing and I didn't just have to. The really annoying part was not only did I have to make those edits in the colorful guidebook, I had to make them in the manuscript too. So I was doing double editing. I was editing two different things because the guidebook was already made and so was the manuscript. So I went by line with those two projects open on my screen and spent probably another few weeks ish. Maybe it was like a few weeks. It was like we're heading in, it was like fall into winter from like Samhain, from Halloween into like the new year. Maybe like for the new year. That's when I then took that second draft, that updated colorful guidebook, the updated manuscript, and I turned it into an ebook. This is where I made a lead magnet for it. So not only did I create a funnel for it, I created a landing page, which was like, here's my free ebook. So I made it free ebook so that people could come on so I could talk about and share. It was a gorgeous guidebook. I'm sorry, it was a gorgeous landing page for this guidebook. I felt really good for where the guidebook was. And I used that for the rest of that year, going into that year to share and grow my list. I think I had like 50 people sign up for it right away. Like I honestly, I haven't really checked in since. But it was like, cool. I got to like add, people were reading my stuff. People were going, holy shit, she did this thing. I think I got clients out of it. Like it worked, right? And then I went into, let me just say, the third draft manuscript. At that point, I realized if I was going to move forward on the publishing journey, I have friends who work for publishing houses, so I know a lot of back end. And I also was reading a book about it. I'll get to that in a minute. A book about publishing and writing. So at that point, I realized, oh man, I'm going to need Grammarly. And Grammarly is a fantastic tool. I had it years ago and then I dropped it. And then for this book, I brought it back. And I did the free version for a while and then I went right into premium. I'm like, take my money, Grammarly. And I went through 55,000 words on Grammarly. I had the whole manuscript be run through Grammarly. And I had all the premium assets. So it's like clarity, confusion. It's like, what are you saying? Repetitive stuff. This doesn't make sense. This isn't a complete. It's everything grammar. It's everything structure. It's like everything. I can't even tell you about all the benefits of Grammarly right now. It was just phenomenal. So it basically had this like editor sitting next to me, and my friend who worked for the publishing house and she published her book through there, she said, your editor is going to make you do this anyway. So I did it. So that took me, oh God, months. I can't even tell you how many months. It basically was my 2024 journey. And that's another journey. When you start doing that, you start getting into like, what am I doing? Does this even make sense? Like, you start really spiraling. So after that, I think I got all the way down to like the end of it and I was like, I'm done. I can't look at this thing again. Like, I'm over it. At that point, I knew I was fully launching Daydream Business School and putting all of my work and all of the years and the vaults of the work I've created and done and all of my systems and processes into a business school. And that was taking my full attention. So I put it on the back burner, as we do with these big projects. And I had gotten pretty damn near all the way done with a third draft. So now insert 2025, the end of 2025. So I didn't touch this book for maybe a year, something like that. Or I think I diddled with it in the spring earlier this month. I played around with it, tried to see if I want to dive back in, and I just didn't have the capacity for it, the energy for it. Recently, we just moved into a new house. It's our dream house. It is a gorgeous Victorian built in 1900. We're a block up from the bay and from our own private beach. It is expansive. My husband and I are both feeling these big expansions. And if you can see this recording behind me, that's my daydream altar. Those are my two altar stations right there. And I was praying at the altar for my daydream business school and calling on the next wave of students that we'll be having joining us over the next few months. And this is the literally I was just like sitting with the expansive energy, and then the book just kept coming to me. Since I said that prayer, it just kept coming to me. And this is what divine action looks like. And it just kept whispering, like, open up the book. I'm like, what? Like, come on, let's do the book. I'm like, now? Really? Are you fucking kidding me? Work on this book now? And it just felt so right. It was like I couldn't ignore that anymore. I know what it's like to get clocked upside the head by the universe, and I don't need to wait for that. And it actually felt really good to pull this back out, start from scratch. And at this point now, I'm talking to an editor. And yes, I am. I've been using AI for my business for years. I've fed it over 100,000 words of my work, literally. It knows me very well, my tone, my voice, who I am. I have my human design working in there. I have astrology working there. Like it knows who I am. It's a private assistant for me. And I have it helping me shape up structurally what's going on here. It's helping me release repetitive stuff. It's helping me release some of the mystical jargon that people won't understand. So I have it really specifically helping me with the 55,000 words and where I'm at. So that's my stage 4, and now I'm going to have that fourth manuscript level that I'm at is what the editor will see. Okay. And that's where I'm going to kick off with her. Now she's going to go through it and have her own thoughts and, opinions and ideas and where this is going. And I'm excited. Like the fact that I am at the level where I am now going to employ an editor and helper with the self-publishing just like takes the shit to the next level. So um, I wanted to say real quickly that I did do this another time because I did say to you that I did this twice. So I did this with another book before the Launch Your Light book. So the book I'm talking about that I'm releasing is called Launch Your Light. And it's going to be around uh, aligning with your soul's purpose, with your life's purpose, connecting to the spirit of your biz, learning to share from the heart. Obviously, it's going to have a different subtitle. That's why I don't want to say it, but that's what it was for this experience, right? But this, what I'm going to share with you now, actually was the year before. So I basically spent my postpartum years and having baby years writing books, which is fucking awesome because a lot of women do that. And I picked up on that and I paid attention to that. So when I was pregnant with my son, I wrote another book, a spiritual guide about connecting with star children before conception. This time I worked privately with 24 families who were trying to conceive. They paid for readings, channeling sessions, and access to writing in the process. I had a little Facebook group they could join. And now, years later, over half of those families have since conceived, which is so fucking cool. Tell me that's not magic, right? And that was another book. That's another community, another paid creation. I think I got like 2,500 off all that. And I'm just letting you know this model works. Now, because I've been so successful with this, and because like I'm not just joking around with this, like I could actually like use this strategically, not just kind of like throw it at the wall like a pancake, like, oh, let's see if people will pay for this. Now I would actually want to make like a good amount of money to write my books. Another person who does this well is Amanda Francis. I found out she did this after I read her book. She's doing this again now with the second book she's writing. So I found out about this after I did it, and I don't know how many other people do it, but and now I was telling one of my clients the other day about this, and she said Kate Northrup is now doing that for her book. So there's something to this. And like, I think Amanda Francis got paid like 35,000 to write her first book. And now she hasn't released the numbers of what she has for the container now, but it's fucking thousands. Are you kidding me? It's probably like 50 grand. She's getting paid. And here's the thing with the trad publishing, like you'd have to be a big person, a well-known person with a huge audience to even get A book advance. And guess what? You have to pay the book advance with your 10% royalties. They only give you 10% royalties back, something fucking ridiculous. And then that means you have to pay the $10,000 they give you back with only 10%, not the full amount of the book. The 10% they're giving you is what you pay back the book with. Are you following? You'll never see money on that book ever again. Plus, they own the creative project, they own your book, they can choose when they wanna take it down or have it be printable. Get the fuck out of here, no. So I'm going self-publishing. You get 70% royalties, you're in charge of the book, it's your creation, right? And you have to build up your own audience anyway, you have to market it anyway, like, the trad publishing makes you do all that anyway nowadays. It's not the old school anymore, it's a very different world. Alright, so let's go through some practical tools. Here it is for those of you who can see me, because 'cause I'm putting this in my business school. This is gonna be the second video I have here for Get Paid to Write Your Book, but it's new and it's updated. It's gonna be the 2025 version versus the 2024 version or something. Okay, this book changed everything. It's called The Book You Were Born to Write by Kelly Nataris. Everything you need to finally get your wisdom onto the page and into the world. Every block you have, every question you have, everything you need, even gives templates at the back. She has the whole before you start writing, a bunch of chapters in that, the writing process, then the path to publication. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I listened to it and read it while having this. I should probably check in with it and see where I'm at and what's going on with that. It literally changed my life. I got recommended that book by two women who wrote and published their books. So the proof was in the pudding. They were like, this changed everything. And then I read the book and it changed everything. It's a game changer. So read it to it, listen to it, whatever. Grammarly Premium, that was very helpful. I think I pay like $32.10 for that, like totally fucking worth it, especially if you're gonna have to do that anyway. Google Docs and Canva for early layout. I looked into all this book formatting layout technology. I signed up for something, didn't like it, messed it up, hated it, and I'm a tech person. I love technology. I can't even remember which editing processor I got. I hated it. I hated it. So the editor I'm working with now, she's gonna help me format. She's gonna help do all that. Okay. Let's see where we are. So this method worked for me. I'm inviting you to see if it works for you. You have a busy life, you got kids, you got a full-time job, you've never done anything like this. I get it. I get it. I get it. You're right. So I think you should do it this way and try to do it this way because you're not writing alone. You're getting paid to create. You're building your authority early. You're proving your concept before you publish. You're stacking momentum. And this method collapses time. It collapses fear. It collapses distance between you and your soul work. So here's what I know. If you have a book inside of you, it shows you. This is something that you have to get out of you. If you're like me and you know this for a long time, or if you've just been told this maybe by your colleagues or in your students for a long time or whoever and whatever, like, oh, you need to write a book, then maybe that's in you, right? I mean, shit, if you're still listening to this episode, LOL, you've got something in you. And then there are people who are waiting to read it. There are people whose lives won't be able to kick off specific things yet because you haven't done the thing that you need to do that's going to change their life and set them up. I'm not trying to be like manipulative about it, but reminding you that this is more than you. This is bigger than you. This isn't fucking about you. This is about the things that need to get out of you. Like I am creating a book for people that will take them from soul to strategy in every step of their business. This is huge. This is for the spiritual entrepreneurs, the creative conscious people, right? The conscious creators. But yeah, creative conscious, whatever we want to call it, LOL. This is for the mystical, magical motherfuckers. These are for women who know they've got soul work that they need to do and they have no idea where to start. Right? It's for those who want and need the strategy to their business, to their soul work, but then also need the soul in their business, right? I'm bringing soul back into business. Maybe for the first time ever, right? This is different. It's a really needed book. So I know this could be read by thousands. This could be read by hundreds of thousands. I don't even want to limit there, maybe millions. I got to let it go. I got to get it out of me, right? There are people out right now silently suffering because you haven't written the thing that will help them. Don't make them work for your perfect timing. Create the container, invite them in, write the damn book, and get paid to do it. And if you want support with that, if you want to write your book alongside me doing these projects, someone who's actually fucking doing it, this is literally what we do inside Daydream Business School. We have a full class on this. We have templates, we have the strategy, we have energy, we have the community that will cheer you through every chapter, and you have me on Fridays. If you just do our entry level into the school, it's only $97 a month to have access to me like this every Friday. Right now, we're recording a class live in there on Mondays that will go till February. You get access to me then. I also have the ability for you to upgrade to having a private session with me once a month. That's only $250 a month. For school plus a private with me, only $250 a month. And then if you want access to my Take It to the Next Level Tuesday mastermind, we do it on Tuesdays, but it's called Take It to the Next Level Mastermind. We meet on Tuesdays, a bunch of women who are literally at the next stage and working on projects for their business, growing and expanding and scaling their businesses. That goes up to about 450. It's like 447. So there are many ways to work with me from 97 to 447. They're a fantastic deal. You've got 17 courses in the school, over 170 recorded business classes, plus me live throughout the week, plus a chat group. So send me a DM. I will put the link to the school in the notes of this episode. You can reach out to me on socials if you want. Just reach out. You can also message me right through the podcast. I think I have the text, the podcast hosts option available. There's always links in the whole episode in the notes there. So I got you. All right, my love, go get paid to write your book. Take this and run with it. Let me know if it works. Let me know if it happens. I'll see you in the next episode, and I cannot wait to read the book that only you can write. See you soon. Bye, everyone.